Black Doctor has about 3 million viewers a month on its internet website, and it is just a great platform for those who are looking for a cross between culture and health. So blackdoctor.org, she was on that. And then there's some other things. She's covers some magazines. Oh, and she was also in, so I have to remember, I didn't write all these down. This is truly live. She was in Addicted to Success. So her article was in Addicted to Success, which has over 6 million viewers. Jamie Foster Brown, a client, was on the cover of Speakers Magazine. Erica Lynn, EricaLynnSpeaks.com. I love her. Over here at the end, she was on Dr. Michelle Leno's show, Mind Matters, which is really on Black News Channel and a lot of streaming platforms. And so she did that even in COVID. She went into the studio. They practiced safe distancing and that sort of thing, but she really did a excellent job. Now, I will say that Erica, before she started doing television, she did do what I would call, we went through the whole branding process. She coached, her style was on point, her language, everything was, but she didn't just start like, bam, like I'm going to be on these major streaming stations. She was already on Kelly Wright's show. She had done an excellent job there. She practiced her sound bites. She knew exactly what it is. She talked in authority. She brought her books to the interview because she's an author, and she really crushed it. She crushed it because she started with podcasting. She started with maybe doing some small Facebook Lives. Excellent, excellent. There's another client over here, Dexter Jenkins. So there's a lot of clients in here, but I will say some of the highlights so that it's not too long. So Dexter Jenkins, he was on a show here called Believe in Yourself Tuesday, and he was also on Money Talk, a Money Talk show, a podcast. Both of these were podcasts, and one was a audio podcast because he's a financial guy, DexterBJenkins.com. And he was also Believe in Yourself Tuesday because he's a pastor. So he really talks about faith and finances. So between those two podcasts, it really helps shape who he is. I have Dr. Leanya, I always want to call her Dr. Judge, Leanya Lloyd. She was on a podcast that talked with Elizabeth Atkins, who's a best-selling author, on Author Talks. Obviously, that's what she is. She's an author. So she was on that show. Press release went out. You can kind of see over here, and it streamed everywhere and got picked up on Yahoo News, Yahoo Finance, AP Wire. So it went a lot of places because her stories and memoir has a lot of legs. So when I say legs, hooks, angles, different places where it could go. So a memoir, it kind of encompasses her life in terms of the life that her and her twin sister were judges on the bench at the same time. They were teachers at the same time. They had a law firm. They did a lot of entertainment law for some of the Motown acts and things like that. So her memoir, she did excellent on her video. So the interview with Author Talks, and she also did the Motown Writers one as well, because obviously she's a Motown writer, I guess you'd say attorney, and at the time doing entertainment with Motown. So she was on that, and that has gotten like a lot of traction. So her book trailer, just so you know, when I'm pitching someone, I write the press release. If it's a book, we have a book trailer. We send the book trailer. Book trailer was awesome. Told the story about the whole book, makes you like a movie trailer. And so from there, I send that out, send the trailer. She's in these different newspapers and magazines because of the materials that she has. We see a Courageous Woman. I've had a lot of clients in there, including Erica Lynn was in there as well. There is Dr. Cindy Trim. Obviously, when we started working with Dr. Cindy Trim, we had a book trailer, and we pushed her to major Christian television stations, TCT, The Word Network, INSP, Inspiration Network. So those are the things for Dr. Cindy Trim. There's AARP. AARP just recently went on America Black Journal. Again, the same thing. We write the press release. We do a little bit of social media, but primarily, just so that you know, it's not the social media that the media is looking at. They will check it out, but it has to be a pitch. It has to be a pitch with the press release to tell them what this is about. Now, if you have video, obviously that's good. So we do video with it as well. Speakers Magazine is a magazine that I publish. It really is I guess you would say it's a part where I wanted speakers to have their own publication and to have their own shine. Brian Olds was on the cover, first time he's ever been on the cover of a magazine, and he's with Black Speakers Network. He founded that organization. So he was on the cover. We gave him shine, make him bigger than life. He can take this now. He's in Baltimore and really show his daily newspapers or his other local newspapers in the area. Hey, Brian Olds, here's my press release. I've been on the cover of Speakers, because they want to know what other media you have had. And sometimes it's like a job. Well, you can't get the job until you get the experience. Well, you can't get the experience till you get the job. So what comes first? So that's really where I felt that Speakers was filling that gap for a lot of speakers, for them to get some media exposure and really to leverage that. There's another client there. It was during Black Dad. He had penned a controversial coronavirus song about African Americans and the coronavirus, and that actually was picked up in blacknews.com. This one here, Nicole was on another podcast that streams thousands and thousands of downloads per month on that one there. Stephanie Mills, a client, her son actually wrote a book, and we helped promote that book and publish that book. So definitely easy. It's easier to promote people like Ed Gordon, Stephanie Mills, people who are iconic already, where they have a brand built up. And then you just basically say, hey, I have this particular guest. Would you like to talk to them? Of course they would, because they already have a brand built out. So if you don't have a brand built out, which is what my program does, Ready, Set, Go, Speak, helps you build a brand. In the Ready, Set, Go, Speak membership community is a branding accelerator program. And that's one of the things that helps you understand from beginning to end where to start, where's the ready phase, where's the set phase, where's the go phase, and where's the speak. Dr. Geneva Williams has gone through this whole process. So she is now at that last phase where she is speaking. She's being booked to speak in 2021. She is going on different various radio shows and television shows. Press releases are going out because she has all the other pieces together. I have a video on my website that you can download. It's called 7 Things That the Media Wants. Go to PamPerryPR.com, 7 Things That the Media Wants. And what it will tell you is like, okay, I want to be in television. I want to be on various radio shows and television shows and newspapers and magazines. But what is it do I need? Well, how do I need to get myself together? So watch that video. That'll help you a little bit in terms of that. Just looking at some other clients, Sonia Jackson, Miles, she was another client. We do a press release, we put it out there, and it gets picked up by a lot of different stations. Dr. Stacy NC Grant, she's picked up, I want to say it was within the New Jersey area. She was picked up, and it really begins its own media begets media. Dr. Jerry over here to the left, she has been on BET. There is Sonia. I saw Sonia and Nicole. Both of them are doing television. I saw Sonia last night on CNN. So a lot of people, when you look at them, like where have they come? Her background was she worked in the White House before. So she has a little bit more leverage than maybe the person that doesn't have that. That's why Dr. Miles Monroe, obviously I've worked with him and he's had really great success, obviously going on Christian television where most people see him. Let his soul rest in peace. Again, Dr. Carmen Thomas, she's won awards. And so when she wins awards, I told her, I said, make sure that you let your local community, which was Lansing at that time, know that you won the award, that you have a ribbon cutting. And so she didn't think about it, right? She was opening up a business and she joined her Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce says, we'll do free ribbon cuttings, did the free ribbon cutting, and it kind of went viral. She had a video, she was on television, written up under the newspaper. That's something that you can do, but you do have to really understand how the media works and how to pitch it, how to spin it, how to make sure the timing is right. All of those things are relevant. When you Google Sarita Pittman, when we first started with her, there was nothing about Sarita on the internet. When you Google her name, and now she has like at least 2 pages full of different media that we've gotten for her. Kiera has been on some podcasts on 910 Superstation. I did some things with Mrs. Funches there. I'm trying to think of one that was really fun. That Dr. Venus is really easy to promote. We did a press release for her for PR Log, and it got picked up from a lot of different stations here because she was doing a tour. And all these things matter. They add up. Allison Bond there, she's been on a lot of different things. She was in Core Magazine. Obviously, she was in the local newspaper here as well. But when people see, when your clients see that you have media shine, that you are in not just on your website and not just on Facebook and not just on Instagram, but you're in other newspapers or magazines and television shows, they take note because they know that you've been vetted, you've been pitched. And so all of these clients have Googled, Dr. Lorraine was on TCT. All these clients have, and Ken, he was in Ebony Magazine. So he actually got in Ebony Magazine when it was in print, those type of things. So but all of these things, he didn't just get in Ebony Magazine, like come to me, but there was a process of things that we had to do for him. Part of the branding process, part of pulling his book together. We helped him put his book together, paired him with the right ghostwriter to really produce that book. Marlon, I remember putting her whole package together and her brand strategy, and she's doing very well now in terms of speaking on tech. That's her area. So she's getting booked to speak on tech, and she's had a lot of PR. She's always on Live in the D. Looking at Max Siegel, obviously he did a lot of press and that sort of thing, but his main thing was really to let people know the pivot that he's a speaker. So he gets more speaking engagement. So that's what PR will really do for you, to make sure that you are not only doing the PR so people know about you, but they'll know about you to book you to speak and also do your services. Walter Douglas, I did his book launch. It was at the African American Museum and helped him put together his book trailer and all those type of things. I love working with people who have like memoirs or great stories to tell. Those are some of my favorite things to work on. John Barfield as well. He was on PBS, so he did a telethon with his book. Let his soul rest in peace. He was about almost 90 years old when he passed, but we helped him put his book together, and he went on circuit with the PBS and did a telethon. Did PR for Fred Price, definitely easy to do there. Pat Bailey, Bishop Hilliard, Andrea Hall, all of these were books. So we're putting together press releases for the books, and obviously they go into the media. Sometimes they're written, sometimes they're on radio, sometimes they're on television. So it just depends. But finding the right media to match your message, Tony Gaskin showing him how to pitch, and he ended up on Oprah. So those are some of the things that Jesse Cole, he's got a hold of it. I love coaching people, Pastor Andre. When he really kind of got it, it's like it put together his materials, and it's like you're ready to go. It's like I pull you back in a slingshot, and you're ready to go. So it's like, woo, okay, but what goes in that woo sound? What is it? So a lot of it is, some of it is relationships. Some of the media people that I know, I can pick up the phone and call. Some of it is really investigating, making sure that I know the right media, and I have to investigate, make sure that their message matches their medium, and then we write the pitch. The key of it sometimes is really writing a good story. Writing a good story. The press release has a hook, has an angle, has legs, that is relevant, that is timely, and that is good. All the products that all the people that I'm pitching are good people. It's just, we got to make sure that they're positioned properly, that people know that they're good, that you know that they have great pictures, that you see that their websites, that their back end things are in order, because that matters. And make sure that, sometimes they'll say, well, can you send us a book? Because they want to see the book. See, make sure that, it's not a janky book. Make sure the pages aren't falling out, making sure that it's the right type of thing. So a lot of times just having not just a good message, but having someone to introduce you to the media, having someone pitch you to the media, having someone show you what to say to the media, having the right materials for the media is important. So right now we're working with Juanita Rasmus, and she is going to be in the book club for Sarah Jakes Roberts, T.D. Jakes' daughter. Big thing. So now you'll see over the next few weeks how we're going to not just have her in that book club, but how are we going to really maximize that? How are we going to leverage that? How will we use that in PR? So another press release will come out about that. That is a little bit of news, and combine it with some other things in terms of what her book is about for the new year. So you're always thinking of ways of how to pitch They always say PR people are spin doctors. Well, we're not spinning. Our minds are spinning. Our brain is spinning in terms of like thinking of different angles and hooks and things like that. But this is fun for me. This is fun because getting people on in media places and on superstar stages is what it's really about. Because if they get the more exposure and visibility, they can do more of their work in the world. They're more of a light, right? So I wanted to go over here. I did not go over here. I always try to say hi to my LinkedIn family because I love doing LinkedIn Live. That's where you can find me as well. But one of the things about media is making sure that your message, hey there, hey, Stephanie Miller. All right, good. There you go. Hi. And I see Joanne. There's Joanne. She's another colleague of mine. She is the publicity as well, strategist, visibility strategist. And she knows that you can't pitch everybody everywhere. And so you have to really just dig deep. I mean, I said this the other day, I can give you like 1,000 media contacts, right? I'll give you their phone numbers and their email. That doesn't mean you're going to get in there. So when someone says, oh, I can give you a media list, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's relationships. Sometimes it's really matching that story to that particular medium. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Joe. Oh, I love that. And she knows that we could have our shop talk, but she knows that people, when Oprah was on, and she did a daily talk show, and she had the Midas touch, because if you got on Oprah, your book was a New York Times bestseller. So of course, made it really hard for us publicists, right? So the first thing the author comes out with their little book, I want to get on Oprah. Yeah, you and 500 million other people. Okay, you're not Oprah ready yet. Let's start local. Let's see how you show up on your local ABC or your CW or your NBC or your Spectrum. How about maybe on your local cable show? Let's see how you do there. And we work with people to work them to the next level. They sometimes they think that the publicist is holding them back. They're really not. We're not holding you back. We're really saving you because you don't want to go on a major network and mess up. Okay. That would be horrible. Or I remember I heard Jennifer Kim, and she was saying that she was on Oprah and it really became like crazy because she got too many orders and couldn't keep up. And so then it becomes a problem. And then people are just, yeah. So, you want to make sure that everything is lined up and your publicist knows when you're ready for the next level. It's not that, because sometimes if you pitch, like come right out the gate, pitch to Today Show, pitch to Good Morning America, pitch to all these morning shows, and they don't pick you up, it will kind of get discouraging, right? And it's like, well, this isn't working. So we kind of tell you to really, let's start here, let's move there, let's go here. All right. And then doing press releases on PR Newswire, those kind of things do work, but don't rely just on that. Don't rely just on that. You will have to, what I call manually, write a pitch and send it out and follow up. How many times? Joanne, how many times will people have to follow up with someone? Even if it's a friend, sometimes 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times because people are busy. That's really the truth. So it does take a lot out of you to say, okay, I want to be on hundreds and hundreds of media outlets. Okay, well, those are hundreds and hundreds of follow-up calls. Do you have that bandwidth? So I always tell people, start with your top 10, work those top 10, and then move to the next top 10. That is really like the best way to do that. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Like how many times do people want to be on, like, oh, I want to be on hundreds and hundreds. Well, and podcasts are a really good place to start. I always say the podcasts have very niche, not small podcasts, but maybe ones that have a little bit of, you could tell how many episodes they have and how many downloads they would have. So you can kind of just tell from that. But the part of it with social media kind of blends with that when you do have a media hit, when you are on a podcast or you are on in someone's magazine, make sure you recycle it into your social media networks. Make sure you put it in your email. Make sure the people in your tribe know about it. Make sure you make a big deal out of it, because maybe someone missed the Ricky Smiley show you were on. Okay. Maybe they missed that you were in such and such magazine. So you have to tell them in your social media. And that makes it a digital footprint. So it stays there forever as well. All right. So that was really it. I just want to just kind of go a little bit, just talk about some of the things that in terms of my media people that have gotten different I guess you would say different kind of media hits where they have been. This was something Dr. Stacia Pierce has been everywhere. I mean, I look at some of these things now, I just kind of I just feel so proud of them knowing where they are now, and they're doing very well. That was really proud of Dr. Pat Bailey. She was on the cover of Charisma magazine. Kim Brooks has been in Jet and Ebony Gospel Today. Oh my goodness. So yeah, but each one of them, you don't pitch the same people to the same media. It depends on their angle, their hook, where they are, their capacity at the time. This young lady here, I remember working with her, Dr. Lindsay Marsh. She's married now, but she was in the Washington Post. So we got her there, and her story was she wrote a book, and her story was just really gripping. Erin Simone worked with her. She's been on a lot of media. If you Google her, you'll see where she's been, but we're working with her brand and building her up to where she is now. And Bonnie St. John, she's like one of the most booked speakers I've ever seen. She is excellent. Her book is How Strong Women Pray. And it was really easy booking her. A lot of that too,